one. Don't know if it's gonna work or not, but kind of weird in some ways because I'm using, actually, of all cameras, the GoPro. The GoPro is back from the dead, essentially. I can't even charge it. Like, I can only plug it in and use it. So I'm plugging it into my car, and I gotta drive my car because just to make sure the car doesn't die or anything, because yeah, I've been sort of the work at home sort of life in a way. But anyway, I've been hanging in there though, and then, you know, hopefully everyone is doing the same as well. Hope everyone's been doing well, hopefully, and pretty much that's all I've been doing when it comes to that. Well, hopefully this works, but this is a little strange in a way because I am using the GoPro. The GoPro is back from the dead, believe it or not, from like years ago. Like, I think like I've used the GoPro for when I first had the Lexus, and I definitely used it when I had the Silica, which was like back in like 08-ish, around that time, and around the 10s or whatever, the early 10s, and all that fun stuff. Actually, I'm going to try to get on the freeway today because I have not taken on the freeway for a while, so let's go ahead and try and do that. Hopefully traffic isn't too bad, but who am I kidding? This is California, so yeah. But hopefully everyone's been doing well. I've been trying to do my best to do that as well. And yeah, doing okay. Doing okay. And been like always thinking about some stuff, but where to begin, right? I mean, well, I don't know when the last time I made a channel blog update kind of thing, but I actually tried to do this like many a times at this point, trying to find like the right camera. I don't want to take my DSLR and do it. You know, I want a little more of a smaller camera. I try to use my phone, and just doesn't work the way I want it to when it comes to like these sort of shots, because when I try to use the 4K mode and whatever, it tends to shut off by itself. I think it's because it's to prevent any overheating, like with a number of 4K cameras. I think it's to prevent that, and it pretty much kind of defeats the purpose almost. Because I want to use the camera for the 4K side of things, just to get the highest quality picture possible. But if I use the front-facing camera, it's only 1080p or whatever, so that's kind of, yeah, like I get access to the camera. I know when it's not recording and stuff like that, and all that stuff. You just hit the button again when I need to. But, you know, it's a headache to just like, I don't know, deal with that. So I'd rather just have a dedicated camera that's not a DSLR. Maybe there'll be a point where I can't do that, but right now I'd rather just use a smaller camera and, you know, recycle some stuff in a way, reuse stuff that I have and find some use for it. And that's why the GoPro is here for today. Hopefully it works. I'll check it out in post and see what the result is. And plus I have the audio has always been okay. It's just the camera is more of like an issue. The video side of things. I mean, I had used the camera up here, like right up on the AC vents and stuff like that. That's where it's mounted. So that's kind of how I've been doing some of my older shots when during the pandemic stuff, like right when it began. And man, those were some times, right? Alright, we're getting on the freeway, so sorry if I pause and stuff like that, but yeah. engine going. I'll probably like do a car thing separately, as much as I would like to talk about my car. So I guess I'll save that for another video. Maybe I'll like start doing that when I come back or whatever. Pretty much what's been happening is that actually, like back in spring, I don't know if I was sick or something was happening, right? I put out that community post saying that, you know, like the weather's been rough in California. It's still kind of like weird. It's been gray for like a pretty long while. It feels like anyway. And from this point on, it's going from two weeks from as I record this, it's going to be more cloudy days. So I don't know what is going on with the weather here, but it's been just not great. A lot of clouds, too much of that, you know. So it's a little depressing in that sense. But we just make do with what we have, just like what I have with the GoPro. But yeah, it is kind of bothersome as someone who lives in California. So, you know, I guess it is what it is for right now. Just strange weather stuff going on, man. I don't like it. It is, I guess, something worth noting to an extent. Well, let's talk about something a little less depressing, I guess. But yeah, so back onto the point. The weather has been weird, so I kind of blame the weather for what happened to me at some point during spring. Like I felt weird, like I don't know if I was sick. I woke up with a dry throat, which went away like pretty quickly, like a day after or whatever, but still, I don't know if it was like some weird cold. I don't know if it was just a random dry throat. I woke up in the morning because the weather has been awful, maybe with the pollen and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was like cold enough to set off the heater. That's how cold it has been. Not nowadays, but back in spring when I was, or during the time I was quote unquote sick. So I don't know. I mean, I do at least to an extent blame it on the weather, like how it's been. Like it's just been awful in that regard. That went away rather quickly though, so maybe it might have been just like a really light cold or just something else, or just like, I don't know, with the weather or something like that had to do with it. I don't know, but I'll just blame it on that for right now, because that's really all I can do. But nonetheless, I'm here. I have not gotten COVID. You know, I haven't really been going out for the past, 3 years now at this point, much. The last time I've actually gone out, though, it was a short while back. One of my friends had a kid a while back from that point on. And I wanted to see him. So I wanted to see a friend and then his son. So as weird as that sounds to say, for me anyway at least. But yeah, I finally saw my friend's son for the very first time, and you know, it definitely is some sort of unique feeling, you know, just seeing one of your close friends just have a kid. Now I can't help to think to myself, am I gonna be at that point? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Still got a life ahead of me, so there definitely are plenty of chances still to do so if I am willing to take the step forward. But for right now, that's not my priority, so that's just me anyway. I got other plans for right now, so I'm just trying to make the best of it for right now, and I'll try to move forward in a world where that's in a state that makes it really hard for right now, but nonetheless, I gotta chug on forward. But yeah, anyway, that's like one of the few times I went out, if not at all. So I might be going out to see my friends for one of their birthdays, because it's coming up this weekend. I don't know like what's going on, like haven't really heard anything. They might go out to Vegas, so I'm sitting this one out if that's the case, because I don't really like Vegas. Truth be told, I've been there like since I actually used to go there like 2015 and until 19, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't really go out to that extent, but going out to Vegas for Evo, it's like that was like the only reason for me to go out, is for, funny enough, video game shit. To go out and meet people from the community and stuff like that. See Max and friends and people, man. People from the community. Good times, of course. But plenty of things are holding it back, right? Pandemic, people are busy, things change. So I don't know, man. I don't know when is the next time I go to Evo to do that again, really. It's kind of something to, I guess, think about in the future. But it's the point being, I don't really like Vegas all in all. Like I'll only go on like really special occasions. Like the only time I went to Vegas that's not for Evo was my the same friend who had a son not too long ago. His bachelor party. I almost didn't go because at that time I felt very depressed. I had a very bad funk. I was going through some shit with myself. Not really anyone else. Luckily, there's no like conflict or anything like that. Not real big old conflict or anything like that. It's something for myself I was dealing with, and essentially I almost didn't go because of that. But my one of the other friends within that circle, snapped me out of it. Like, he's like, yo, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. He really wants you to go. He was telling me that, and just essentially snapped me out of it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I gotta say fuck it, and get it on. I guess that's one way to describe it. Get on going, But yeah, that was I think that was like probably the worst ever like sort of event of depression related things that I went through. Like it was the most apparent effect of depression that has ever happened to me. Or at least one of the only 2 times, right? And some may guess what that other one is. And that one involves with family, but very, very sad, obviously. But enough of that. Point being, don't really go to Vegas that often, like a lot of Americans do. I don't know what it is about Vegas. I mean, I've I've done a bit of everything. I drank at Vegas. I go-karted in Vegas. I went on one of those like ATV tours in Vegas. Did I mention drinking? I gambled in Vegas. And then when it comes to Evo, yeah, I went to Evo for Vegas. I went to finals for Vegas. I just walk around the strip. I walked around this place, that place. I've had the Gordon Ramsay burger place in Vegas. Just a little bit of everything. Just a little bit of everything in a way, right? I've been to an arcade in Vegas. Pretty cool for what it is, but it's overall not my vibe. That's just what I can really say. That's just me anyway. I'm more of like a chill kind of guy. Like I'd rather just go to a cafe and just chill, just drink coffee or whatever with a friend or something. For a group of friends, chill. That's like really my ideal type of like hangout. Or hang out at somebody's house, shoot the shit, chill, not smoke, drink a little bit, and that's about it, I don't want to like drink to the point where I'm sick, I want to vomit. I've been there, don't want to do that again. I've done it once. That's just how it goes. Not that kind of guy. I've done it, so you can't tell me I've never done it. It's terrible. I don't like drinking a lot. I like to drink moderately. And yeah, I have a number of my friends go like, oh, you gotta do drinking games and shit and all that crap, and I just hate. I don't like drinking. I don't like drinking games. I don't like that rowdy kind of stuff. I'm really all about the chill vibes, man. That's what I am. I'm not a party animal. I've had my moments. I've gone through it, and that's really all I would like to do. I've done it. Whatever. Time to move on. But my friends just want to keep doing it. So I try to do my best to somehow avoid it. Whatever, I think they know, but whatever, man. Sometimes you gotta give them a reminder, I guess. Somehow. I get it. People are like that. People like to party. I get it. But it ain't for me. It ain't for me. Yeah. Oh, this guy wants to merge over there. Okay, this guy wants to merge into me, so I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, alright. So, lovely, lovely traffic in California. On the 405. Moderate amount of cars in comparison to what I've seen. I mean, it is almost close to 8 o'clock, so it shouldn't be that bad. But still, it's the 405. It sucks. Yeah. Back in the pandemic when that happened. Oh man, that's the most empty I've ever seen on the 405. It's almost creepy. It is almost kind of scary in a way. I've never ever seen the 405 that empty, and I definitely will think that will never happen again for the rest of my life. Let's say the pandemic, there's some sort of pandemic every 60 years, by that time, well, at least a big pandemic anyway, by that time, I'm going to be 93. Who the hell knows if I'm going to be good or not if I'm 93. That's kind of funny to think about. I mean, it could be another 30 years, give it or take, right? Give or take. But I don't think we'll see a big pandemic like this for a long time. I mean, really, this was pretty bad, it seemed like. But I think if we do a bit of research on the Spanish flu, because I think the Spanish flu was the last one to the point where we had to wear a mask and everything. You know, people around the world had to wear a mask and all that stuff. And that was like the last pandemic that was very similar to this one. The Spanish flu also took about 3 years, and then people, I guess, stopped giving a shit about it, and then they moved on. So it probably will be the last time for, I don't know, maybe it'll go on a little longer, I don't know, but give or take, at the very, very most, by the 5th year, very, very most, I'm like being kind of generous with it, it's like completely like out of our minds, you know what I mean? Maybe like next year, like 2024, there will be like the workers still wearing masks. But by that time, yeah, I think it'll definitely like die down, you know? Like 95%, you know? I still wear my mask here and there when it comes to like crowded places. When there's like a lot of people in like a small establishment, like, you know, when I'm going out to take it for takeout, you know, for dinner. Oh man, sort of rock hit my car. Little pebble, whatever. I still wear my mask in those type of places, but when it comes to like, you know, like restaurants, like when I met up with my friend, I didn't wear a mask. No one was wearing a mask, so the only people were the workers, right? And even like half of the workers were not masking. So I don't know. I kind of just go with the tide in that situation. Like if no one's wearing it, well, right, fuck it. I don't wear mine. But it's not like, you know, if you wear your mask right now, still people will look at you funny. Luckily, I mean, maybe I didn't wear it. Because I live in California, it's a little lenient. But yeah, as time goes on, probably we'll go back to that point where if you wear a mask, it's like, what the fuck, what the hell are you doing? You know, type of deal. I don't know if I'll wear a mask at work, but I'll try to do that during winter, because like winter is definitely the time to do so. It definitely is the most ideal, because, you know, most people get sick around that time. Like not just not with COVID, but with like, you know, the flu, the cold, whatever it is, right? That kind of stuff. Yeah, that time I think maybe I'll put on my mask, like no given thought, no other given thought, no second thought or anything like that. I don't know. But whew, man, that time, man, what a hell of a time that was. Everyone in the world, when everyone gave a shit at the time, woo-wee. The world was quiet. It was definitely quiet. A lot of businesses shut down, or a lot of other businesses had to adapt. There is some silver lining to it. I mean, you know, it still is tough to think about, but, you know, like, a lot of people were lost during the pandemic, including my dad, my pops. You know, that just hit me very hard at the time. Took a couple weeks off from doing videos, and but, you know, I knew this was gonna stick with me for a long time, and it still kind of hits me here and there when I think about it. But thus is life, right? So I can definitely like feel that with people who also lost their loved ones during the pandemic as well. I didn't get to see my dad for that during that time. And right during New Year's Eve, we got the call during the morning. I was still sleeping at the time, but by the time I woke up, my mom and my sister broke the news to me, and that was that. It was so fast too. Like, I think it was like the day before we got the call, like, oh, my dad got COVID, but he's kind of talking, he's kind of himself still, and I had some hope that that he'll be okay and stuff like that. It's not gonna mess him up too much or anything like that. But next day, New Year's Eve, daytime-ish, that call, man, it was definitely the last thing I wanted to hear. To nicely put it, it sucked. It's been about almost 3 years, pretty much 2.5 years at this point. Crazy. Feels like time is flying too fast, man. But of course, I miss him. I wish I can talk to him. But that really does not happen anymore. That can't happen. But the only thing I gotta do is move forward, and that's really what my old man wants, man. Just to have me to live my life out. That's really all we can do for these types of situations. I'm probably gonna get off the freeway. I think that's enough freeway driving. But man, let me tell you, dude, pandemic was a time. I had to stay inside. I mean, for me, it wasn't all that different. Us introverts had it good, I guess, or not good, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like, all right, kind of another day in the old room, I'm still here. My family's still, the rest of my family's still here. It's try to make the best of it, type of thing. My mom and my sister are still hanging in there, as I. Another time. One of the only other times I went out was to go see my uncle and my cousins for Thanksgiving, and got to talk to them first time in like I think I want to say just years, right? It was good to see them, and talked about actually random things. Now that I think about it. I didn't think my cousin would bring up the what do you call that story involving that what was it, the Twitch streamer female, right? She broke her back because she like jumped into a foam pit, broke her back because the foam pit sucked, like that story. I think my cousin brought that up at the table. I did not expect that to happen, but hey, it did. Pretty funny. My cousin also is kind of like a gamer, so yeah. I mean, I guess it can't be helped. I don't know if he's more of a nerd than me, less of a nerd than me. I'll probably say less of a nerd than me. You know, he's a hardworking man. You know, been trying to hang in there too. He's gone through some stuff too, so I mean, you know, like all of us. But still hanging in there, still himself. Happy to see that. Along with my, you know, younger cousin. She is still her spunky self, loves to engage in the social media. You know, she's, you know, bringing that game. You know, I mean, hey, I respect it. She does like haircuts too, which is funny. I just got my haircut, I think, at the time too. So she's like, "Hey, I mean, hey, if you want a haircut? Call him." I'm like, all right, I'll keep that noted. What else? I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I actually have not seen like Adam and the Others just yet. It's been about a year, I think, a solid year, or even 2 actually. Yeah, no, it's almost been 2 years, almost 2 years. I haven't seen them in person. So hopefully, either I see them on the weekend or something, or I bring them over to the backyard, like barbecue. I try to do for like Independence Day weekend. I always try to do that. So hopefully I see them sometime this year. I have not talked to those guys in person. I've talked to them in Facebook, but like a little bit here and there, like, but not like a full-on conversations or anything like that. But I do still chime in from here and there. Mostly just posting memes and shit posts and whatever. That's like mostly what we do with that Facebook chat. You know. I guess that's one way to, you know, kind of keep ties, you know. I guess that's one way to do it. Ain't that the beauty of life nowadays? Anything else I wanted to sort of like talk about, I guess, at this point? I don't know how long it's been, but probably like over 30 minutes or something, feels like. Actually, no, it was like 7:30 when I left. And then, I don't know. We'll take a look at that eventually. But, yeah, that's really all I got for the major stuff anyway. Just wanted to say that I'm still here and doing alright and all that stuff. What happened over the spring and stuff like that. You know, whenever I can, try to make these videos just to kind of update you guys and kind of get some things off my chest and whatever. And, you know, have an excuse to drive the car so I can keep the battery charged. So. But when it comes to channel updates, let's talk about that as a means to probably wrap it up for this portion anyway. I wanted to just like talk about the BattleBot stuff. I think that's been doing decently well for what it is, given the state of the viewership nowadays, which is alright. I mean, I can do whatever I want. That's the beauty of it. I can make videos what I want. There are people who just make some dumb comments. I'm not gonna name them, but there was someone that was like, "Oh, how can you have this many subscribers but this many views? Did you buy them?" You know what I mean? Like, bro, you just come into the channel and already throw those questions at me like that when you haven't even like seen everything else I got and what happened in the past and all that stuff. Like, if you're a long-time viewer, I guess that makes sense, but for you to come in and ask that kind of question right away off the bat, I don't know, man. You got like a very bot-like mentality. I'm sorry, but not sorry. That's like a very, very strong thing to say. Rude is one way to describe it too. Like, bro, like, there are a lot of channels that go through that stuff too. Like, you definitely have not been on this like platform for long enough. I've been making videos since 06. You know, which is just what, for the most part, whatever I wanted to do. No one ever told me like, oh, you know, I never had any like producer or anyone that tells me like, oh, can you make more of these videos, that sort of thing. No one has ever had to tell me that. I've had the luxury just do whatever I want, and you know, got some things out of it, and I should be happy with that. And there are just people, of course it's the internet, there are people out there who just like to be the cloud to somebody's sunny day. Maybe that person's naive, probably doesn't know any better. Oh my gosh, there's someone jaywalking. Gotta be careful. But anyway, maybe that person is naive, doesn't know any better, whatever, but still, I think it's still kind of dumb to do that to just anyone, really. Like, what? You got any evidence? I mean, you got any proof? I know I never bothered with setting up any bot to, I don't know, fake my subscription number. I've earned all that stuff. All those 20,000 subscribers and whatever, I've earned that. Like, if you come in here, like, if I had a million or 100,000 subscribers and I had those numbers, okay, maybe then I can see where you're coming from. 20,000, like, you gotta look at it. You gotta do a bit more research, man. Like, there are channels where, for a lot of cases, there will be a point where only 10% of your subscription base is like hardcore dedicated to your videos. Like, they'll always be there to watch your videos, right? You know, rough guesstimation, but there is a case, right? Whether it be 10%, 20%, whatever. But not all 20,000 are always going to watch your videos, right? Just like with big channels and all that stuff. Like, yeah, those big channels still get 1 million views or 100,000 views. But you gotta look at their subscription numbers too, and like take that into consideration. Not all of them, of course. There's always exceptions. I'm not saying everyone goes to that stuff, but there are a number of channels that have that sort of phenomenon happening to them. Some worse than others, or some less than others, to that extent. But anyways, try not to get too worked up by those kind of people. At the end of it, I try to ignore them. You know, I don't want to like engage any more like arguments or anything like that. I just kind of like replied to them once per comment, because that person commented twice. And that's that. You know, luckily it didn't really escalate it to anything like that. But yeah, that person was extremely naive. I'll leave it at that. Anyway. Pretty much like getting to the end of it, so I'm gonna like wrap it here.